Okay guys, so I just finished installing the rear diffuser for the top1 motorsport for Honda S2000. So quickly, it's getting really dark right now, and I'm just gonna quickly do a video before I lower the car, show you guys how to get this thing installed. It's not really straightforward, easy. I don't know, for a beginner I think you might need to play around with it. So anyway, let me quickly show you. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna quickly show you guys. So for the top1 rear front diffuser, it's kind of hard to see right now, it's dark. I think right now it's about like 8 o'clock. Watch my previous video. I have a video show you guys how to install the front one. The front, it's actually a lot easier. It's kind of straightforward, but you do have to, if you have a lip, you do have to take out your lip. You don't have to take out your front bumper, but you do have to take out your lip. That's how I did it. Anyway, for the back is tough. I highly recommend 2 people to do it, but I did it all by myself. The reason why it's kind of heavy for a single person, especially you're doing it at home. If you're having like in a shop or something like that, it might be a lot easier. So by doing it yourself, it's kind of hard. So if you bought a rear diffuser from top1, it'll come in 3 pieces. So first, the diffuser itself is one single huge piece. Second piece is these small lip, I don't know what they call it, small piece both side, and they don't come with any instruction at all. They come with all the bolts, washer and screws and stuff like that, and it also came with 2 hinges. So I don't know if I could show you guys right now. Oh man, it's kind of dark. I don't know if I want to do another video in the morning, but anyway, this should be like an L-shaped hinges, so you'll probably know it if you buy it anyway. So it's a piece of metal. There should be 2 of them, 2 L-shaped hinges. If you watch my previous video on clear coating my rear diffuser, you probably see those 2 pieces of metal. So at first I didn't know where those 2 pieces of metal goes. So what I did was, first I put the rear diffuser under the car, align it, and then I see those 2 holes right on the top. So let's pretend this is the end, and then the top is in the front of the diffuser. So in the top, somewhere around in the edge of it, there should be 2 blank screws all the way in the front, and those are for the hinges. I don't know if you could see it. Man, it's kind of dark, yeah. But anyway, that's a piece of metal right there. That's the hinge on the L shape. So what does the hinge go is that the hinge actually hook up to your rear sway bar. So you know how sway bar, this should be a bolt on the top and bottom. So that hinge actually goes to the bottom one. So you have to unscrew your rear sway bar, take that out, and then put that hinge in, and then tie it up. So in order to tie it up, it's kind of hard, because it's not that hard actually. When you unscrew the bottom bolt for the hinge for your sway bar, your sway bar actually tends to go loose a little bit, and then kind of drop, kind of hang down a little bit, because obviously your tire is hanging down, so your sway bar is pulling it down. So what you do is that you grab one of your arm, push the sway bar up while you try to screw on the bolt, and then after you got about 2 or 3 threads in, it should be fine. Then you could use your I don't know, impact guns or whatever you have to bolt it up. So make sure when you put the hinge on, do not tie it up really tight. Just maybe 50 or 70% tight while the hinge is kind of loose. Pivot left and right, stuff like that. So basically keep it loose. Same thing for this side too. So you first install both hinge. So while the 2 hinge, the L-shaped middle hanging down, and it's loose, so don't tie it up. So while it's loose, what you do is that you pull the what's called diffuser in, and grab your jack. Grab one of these the jack that I use to jack up the car. It's getting kind of dark, sorry guys. So one of these big, let me just pull it out. So one of these big metal jack, pretty standard. I don't know, you kind of see it now. So grab one of these jack, and then put like a paper on it, or like a rag on the end of it, and then jack up the diffuser just the end of it. So have a jack the end while the diffuser is going up. You will be holding the front side. So you will be holding the front side up while the jack is pushing it the back side up. So the way how I did it all by myself was that my leg was actually funny. It was my leg was actually pulling the jack up and down while lifting the jack up, while my body was like, my head was under the car, obviously where the exhaust is, and then holding the front. So when you get to a certain height that the lip is touching the hinge, what you do is you screw it on, not too tight though. So you screw the diffuser onto the metal piece hinge. So while the hinge is, so after you screw both sides onto the hinge, not too tight though, like I say, after that you don't even have to hold the front anymore, because the front is basically front of the diffuser basically hold by the hinge, the piece of metal, those two. So while the back is hold on by the jack. So you could just come out of the car and everything, and then this should be fine. It'll be sitting. And then to install the back up, underneath this bumper right here, it's kind of right below your license plate, right next to an edge. So, oh man, it's getting darker and darker. But anyway, right below, right here, right on the edge tip of the tip of the bumper, both side tip of bumper, there should a plastic screws. I don't know if you could see. I probably still draw around here. Oh, right here. So I draw on the floor. It should be one of these plastic clip. There should be two of them right on the edge of the bumper. So this clip is actually kind of long. It's the clip basically clip the bumper onto a piece of metal. I don't know if it's a flame or something, but this should be a piece of metal in the back. You could feel it when you put your hand in the back. So you basically remove the clip, and that will open up the hole that you'll see. And on the diffuser itself, there should be two holes pre-drilled. Everything is pre-drilled already. There should be two holes that align to it. But like I mentioned, from the front of the diffuser, don't tie all the bolts up. Keep it loose so that you could adjust the diffuser, like pushing it front, back, left and right, just to align the hole. So make sure that the rear diffuser, the back part, has to align to the hole, and then you basically screw that one on first. So those two are the one that I screw it really tight at the beginning. So I screw those really tight. The front two, four, or wherever all the bolts in the front, I keep it loose. So while the two is done, then I went to the front of the diffuser and then tie up everything, even the hinge too. I tie everything, all the hinge up. After that is done, the only thing that is left is the side one. You know what, I might do a video tomorrow or something, but I don't know if I have time to show you guys. But anyway, so yeah, the only thing is missing is these has to be drilled onto your bumper, and that's the tough part. Actually, another thing, those two bolts is really, those two on the rear is really hard to install. It took me a while. And another thing is that those two bolts is actually the long one. So all the bolts that they gave you is the same size except for those two. Those two are actually using the long one. They don't have an instruction for it, but I kind of play around with it. I used the short one at first, and I couldn't even get it on. So only the long one works. So the long one is for the rear. So after that's done, which is kind of hard, I had to play around with it a long time. The reason why is it's really hard to get your hand in it. Even with the aftermarket exhaust I have, it kind of opened up some space, but still it's kind of having a hard time to put your hands in and then like kind of curve around your hand and just try and touch the back. So anyway, after those two tough bolt is on and tight, and then you tie up the front, then you have to drill the hole. Same thing on this side, you have to drill 3 holes, and these are pretty hard. One thing I have to mention is that on mine, it came with sort of a defect or something like that, because these holes should be pre-drilled, but one of the holes doesn't even align with my rear diffuser for some reason. I don't know why. So I had to drill a hole like right next to it. It's about a few millimeters off, so that the bolt doesn't even align with these two pieces. The diffuser with the small piece, it doesn't align. only one the hole though. But anyway, so yeah, this part is kind of hard. How should I explain it? It's kind of hard to explain because it's getting really dark. I might do another video next time, but the main point is that I actually use a whiteout. So I've been using whiteout a lot for my other project as well. So whiteout is basically regular whiteout way, you know, when you white something in a pan and you make a mistake, you just kind of white out. So what I do was I haven't drilled anything. What I did was I just tied screws on the diffuser with the small piece that come with it, the plastic, the curve, I don't know, the L shape curve that come with it. I just screws these thing on, and then what happened was I push it up and push it inward. While I'm pushing it in, I need to find out where to drill the hole on the bumper, on the rear bumper. So what I do is I use my other hand to grab onto the whiteout, and then where the hole is out, the pre-drill hole, where the hole is out, I kind of like use a whiteout to white out the bumper where the hole indicate. So after that, after you let go, leave the diffuser hanging on the side, I could see the whiteout, the white stuff, small area hole. So that's basically my marking where I indicate where to drill. So anyway, yeah, you just basically have to play around with it, but it still wasn't easy to drill too. The reason why is that when you drill this thing, mainly because there's not enough space for your hand to go around with it, and especially the tool, you must have the right amount to the tool that you need. I don't really have all the equipment and the tool that I need, so I just kind of play with it. Wherever the things that I have at my house, I basically just play around with it. So that's what happened. But anyway, so the rear diffuser is done. That's basically it. So quick summary: get the hinge on to the car first, to the sway bar, rear sway bar. On the bottom part, this should be 2 screws, the bottom screws, and put that on. After that is on, use a jack to jack up the rear diffuser up to help you out if you're doing it all by yourself. If you have a friend that will help you, that will be great. They could just grab the back of it and you do the front to get onto the hinge. After the hinge is done, then come to the back while the front is sitting on the hinge, but don't tie everything up because you gotta adjust the diffuser, pushing it front, back, left and right, just to align the back one, the back two. Those back two has to be really tight, and it was pretty hard to tie up because your hand had to go around into the rear bumper behind it. So while that's done, after you tie up the back, then you tie up the front. The front should be a four small bolt, that 2 on left side and 2 on right side, that come from the manufacturer, and then 2 from the hinge, which is the original OEM bolt that you do set up and tie up. So anyway, tie that up in the front, tie everything up, and then the last part is the side. That's what I did. The side is kind of hard. Oh man. Anyway, it's getting dark. You can't even see anything, but that's basically how you install a rear diffuser. Well, I'll try to do another video in the morning, but basically everything is done. Alright, I'll see you guys.